What's going on, Delmarva? I'm Spencer Tillis.
I'm Kaylina Speakman.
I'm Trayvon Miles.
And this is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in just a bit in today's episode. It was the annual Blue vs. White Senior All-Star Game for girls lacrosse in Delaware. Some of the top athletes in the state laced them up for one final time.
And the Purdue Chicks faced off against the State Line Strutters in some Eastern Shore League baseball action.
And today is the day you put them up. We are counting them down, the top 10 plays of the spring season, plus a couple more on the way.
And the spring sports season is officially in the books right now for high school teams. We got a couple All-Star games left to get to, but I mean, what a year and what a way to cap it off.
Yes.
A couple more state title teams,
Yes.
a couple good runs, historic things. We got a lot to get into this show, but we got to start with the All-Star games we had last week. Boys lacrosse, Blue vs. White Senior All-Star Game over in Delaware, and a lot of future athletes and future college athletes taking the field. White team down early, but they would go on a scoring run. Cesar Rodney's Brian Lefevre right there on the attack. Gets inside and gets the unassisted one to go. Blue team now looking for the answer. St. Elizabeth's Joseph Caro with a shot, but Polytech's Nate Fairbanks is there to get the save. Then at the other end, it's Indian River's Josh Lucido taking the feed. He gets in front of the cage, and he finds the back of the net as well. And then check out this move by Lake Forest. Ben Moore shakes about 4 defenders and then goes ahead and sidesteps, gets inside.
I didn't see that.
That is a sweet goal right there. But the story of the game was Sally's Garrett Cannon. He was filthy all day long. The sick goal on the spin move right there. He would lead Team Blue to a 20-15 win. And I tell you what, that goal by Moore was nasty. We got to see that a lot. We're going to possibly see a little bit more of those little sidestep moves playing football next year at Wesley. And I love these All-Star games because, I mean, you kind of put the competitive side a little bit, in the back front. You got to try all those things that in practice you always kind of goof off with your teammates. You never get a chance to do out there. And it was fun to go there. But the story of the game, I mean, I tell you, Cannon, we didn't get to see this guy too often because he's from up north, but he came out. He had the bright lights going on. He put on a show, had a bunch of sick goals in that entire thing. It was fun to see. He showed out, and what a great event out there.
All right, well, let's take it to the girls' side now as the Blue White Henlopen Senior All-Star for the girls' team all the way up in Dover. And Smyrna's Madeline Price gets things started a little bit for the Blue team right here. She's going to go ahead and take this one in for a nice finish right here. Then just a little bit after that, she's going to be looking for another one. And then you'll see right here, she's denied by Cesar Rodney's Caitlin Longest. But the Blue team, they were not quite done just yet. They would go ahead and just draw up this free position shot right here. And Smyrna's Kayla Hint is able to put this thing away. And then over on the other end, the white team trying to make their move. We're going to see CR's Delaney still right here take the nice pass, just like she did over 200 times in her career as a rider.
Wow.
She's able to find the back of the net, and the Blue team wins this one 12-11 the final. And you know what? Smyrna straight just took over that All-Star game right here, as did Cesar Rodney. Touching on what you said, this is a very, very fun event. It's kind of their last hurrah in high school, and I think this game lived up to all the expectations. And it just goes to show that we're going to be losing a lot of talent next year.
I do agree. Like you said, Delaney's still one of those premier players that we always see. Always happen when we come back with our highlights. Who do we see in the highlights?
She's always there.
These certain people.
First of all, DIAA, get it together, though, on one case here. Who schedules a senior all-star game for lacrosse on the same day as graduation for Polytech and for Cape? The two best programs in the entire state don't have the best players there. If you literally did a rundown of the list of the top 10 players, you're getting 9 between those two teams probably. The 9 best players in the state aren't going to be at a senior all-star game? Come on now.
Somebody
pull it together.
Somebody might have planned that one.
I'm just saying.
I think so. All right, guys. Now the high school season is over. We are transitioning to some local happenings. One of our favorites from last year, the Eastern Shore Baseball League, already back in full swing. Last night, the defending champions, the Purdue Chicks, were taking on the State Line Strutters. And the Strutters going to strike first here. Mike Turner hitting a screamer to short. That gets mishandled, and that allows former St. Mike star and Seagull Jordan Gow to score. Now, former Sussex Central pitcher Justin Mears on the mound for Purdue. He would allow 2 runs in the first, but settled in to get out of the inning before further damage. Purdue, with bats in their hands now, chance to put up some runs. Former Sussex Tech pitcher Cole Hearn gets the strikeout to get out of the jam. State Line back up to bat with runners on. Little bloop to short center. Think he's going to drop in. Demarius Gooch with a great diving catch. He is a Cape grad right there, but Big Mike Turner, there's a reason why this guy was drafted by the Angels back in 2010. He's a St. Michael's grad, deep sack fly, scores Brandon McCabe. Strutters win this one big, 10-0 the final. I tell you what, we saw the dominance that Purdue showed last year. We had them on the show a couple times. This is a different season. They lost 2 games all of last year. already 2-2 on the season. You would not believe both of those losses to the Strutters. You see what kind of roster the Strutters have, though. They have a bunch
up a little bit.
They brought some kids down this year, so I think it's going to be a long summer. I think Coach Craig Shreves does have some things up his sleeve, but as far as Purdue running away with this league like they did last year, definitely not going to be so. But I'm definitely excited to get back out there and see those guys.
Oh, absolutely. You got to check out Strutters, too, because last year they did the similar thing. I mean, they were hot out of the gates, and then towards the end of the year, they kind of tailed off. So we'll see if they can keep all those guys around and kind of finish the strong way that they want to. Well, from the Chicks to the Birds, we'll go ahead and take things over to the Shorebirds. They were actually making a late push towards the playoffs. They had a little bit of a home stretch right now, taking on the Blue Claws last night in Game 2 of that series. And the home team would, well, put on a show here early on. They'd come out firing. Gurion Grime, he's at the dish, sends that one deep to left for a RBI double as Alex Murphy comes around to make it 1-0. Back comes Lakewood, top 4 here when Divine Grulian gets into one. That'll be deep to right, good for a RBI double as Jose Pujols scores on the play. Blue Claws still pushing. Carlos Duran this time listed deep to center as Jan Hernandez tags up and scores. Still in the 4th, man. They had a big 4th inning. This time it's Divine Biter as he hits one into short. That throw to first is off the line. That allows Grulian to score. And then the Blue Claws would go ahead and put this thing away. Demik Toshka right here with a sac fly of his own. That scores Josh Tobias as the Lakewood Blue Claws win Game 2, 6-3. Game 3 of that series is actually just now getting underway, so we'll have highlights of that later on tonight. But they need to win that one because that loss put them 5 games back with 10 games to go. You have to basically be perfect the rest of the way. But here's the thing. The minor leagues are a little bit forgiving. You start over at the second half of the year. So if they can win the first half, all the better. But if they can't, it's not the end of the world. They start fresh. They have a chance to try and win the second half of the year, make the postseason as it is. They got 4 All-Stars. They had probably another 2 guys that should have done it. They're a talented squad, so they'll have a chance.
Let's root for the Shorebirds tonight just off the strength of those Lakewood names. So we
I tried. If you're watching any Lakewood players, I'm sorry, man. I tried.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break, but stick around because coming up next, we're going to talk Eagles minicamp. Stick around.
I'm Jack Wheely. I'm a pitcher for Easton High School, and you're watching DELMARVA Sports Insider.
Yep.
Welcome back. Well, time to talk some sports, but we're going to take it to the national level. And Trey, hard to believe, but I think we're going to make it, man. We are less than 100 days till football gets underway, and I'm already starting to get excited.
That is right. OTAs are finishing up. Mini camps are coming up. Fret no more. Football season is on the way. I know a lot of people all over Delmarva share that excitement that we do. For more, we're going to kick it over to Kaylina.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, the Eagles just finished up their mandatory minicamp, which was open to the media. And one guy who had a front row seat was Comcast Sports Net Derek Gunn. He's here to give us some insight on how they were looking. Now, Derek, the big question is, how is their first-rounder Carson Wentz looking out there?
On the surface, he's everything the Eagles expected him to be. He has a strong arm. He can make all the throws. But as Doug Peterson told us the other day, he's still making mistakes, misreading on the intermediate routes. His safety valve route has always been the deep ball since he's been in his minicamp. So he's right where they thought he would be right now. The guy has unlimited potential, and they believe he's going to do great things for this organization.
Now, looking at the receivers, do you think they'll be able to come up with some big plays next season? And so far from seeing them in minicamp, what is your overall opinion on them?
I think the wide receivers are one of the big question marks on this team. They don't really have a so-called number one wide receiver. Jordan Matthews is a very good receiver, and Doug Peterson had told us that he was going to have Jordan Matthews play outside as well as inside. Well, on the outside, Jordan Matthews doesn't have that straight-ahead speed. And then just the other day, Doug Peterson told us that Jordan Matthews is really excelling at the slot position, which means there's still an opening for somebody to be in that outside position. So you really don't have a definitive number one receiver in camp.
And then a lot of people are also wondering, how are the other rookies looking out there aside from Wentz? Who is someone that's making some waves out there and making a really good impression on the coaches?
The one guy who's getting a lot of notoriety right now is their fifth-round pick, the running back, Wendell Smallwood. As of right now, Ryan Matthews is the number one back, but he's only had one season where he's played a full 16-game slate, so he's like an injury waiting to happen. And Wendell Smallwood has the capability, if he is what we think he has a capability of stepping in and helping this offense, not just in the running game, but the passing game as well.
All right, thank you, Derek. Well, I think the Eagles have a lot of things going in their favor. A new coach is obviously bringing a lot of new light to this team. Now that they're on the same page with quarterback Sam Bradford, they're headed in the right direction. I just don't think this season will be a championship season, but more of a rebuilding season. What about you guys?
I don't think we should even murmur championship with this team in any way, shape, or form. They're going to be awful. I mean, they are terrible. If they win 4 games or more than 4 games, I'd be surprised right now. Here's the thing. Think about this offseason. They've had an unlimited amount of distractions from not talented players. That's not a good combo. They need to be more focused on maybe hitting the weight room rather than going to the after-practice parties at 3 in the afternoon at a gentleman's club.
Let's go in.
Just a thought. I mean, who goes to a gentleman's club at 3 in the afternoon, let alone everything else that comes with that? There hasn't been much of anything good for this team yet. The biggest thing they got is a guy that came out of nowhere that, I mean, they're hoping can develop as a quarterback. I mean, they're the 4th best team in a decent division.
It's funny you should say that because the new team wins a division every single year. The Eagles last won it in 2012. So it's their time to win it this year. This is the 4th season. It's their time to go. Unfortunately, like you said, I don't think that this is the season for that. That roster, the coaching staff look a little different, but the defense is still solid. But the offense, not much to look forward to. Like you said, they got their hopes on this one guy. If he flames out, they're going to be pretty bad for even longer time, you know what I mean? But this team is still reeling from that mess that Chip Kelly created. So I think if they can win 8 games this year, you're saying 4, they can surprise a lot of people. I think if they even win 8 or even get close to 6.
If they get 8, I'd be shocked. But, I mean, to me, and this is, you'll appreciate this, I really think it's the Cowboys' division to lose right now. The Giants are going to be right there, but I think the Cowboys are.
I don't want to say that.
As long as Romo's ribs stay healthy.
You're jinxing me, man.
We'll put it like that.
You're jinxing me.
All right, it's time for another quick commercial break, but coming up next, it's what everybody has been waiting for, our top place of the spring. Let the countdown begin.
Lizzie Frederick, Cave Henlopen, midfielder, and you're watching DELMARVA Sports Insider.
Welcome back. Well, we do this every sports season, and it never gets old. We're going to count down the top 10 plays of the spring sports season right now. Now, we had a couple state champions, some amazing catches, goals, game winners. I mean, you name it. Everything gets considered, the part in the game as well as just the play itself. Everything gets weighed out, so let's do this. Mine coming in at number 10 is my man Jose Ortiz, the big fella, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, going through the lane right there and firing it home. The long pole mini. First of all, I can never get enough Jose Ortiz. This guy is a DSI legend for a life and for a reason. Hits him with the LeBron afterwards. Now, again, right now, probably not the best time for the LeBron. We'll maybe call it the Curry move for a second. But either way, my man Ortiz coming in number 10 and well-deserving.
Play number 9 comes from Cesar Rodney versus Padua. The state championship game as Kimberly Glasser kicked that one in. The ball was punched out. Caitlin Harris right here kicks this one in 20 yards out, and it is good. Take another look here, and this gets even better because that was the only goal Padua has allowed all season long by a Delaware team. And, you know, Cesar Rodney was so excited they scored that they weren't even that mad that they lost the state title game. Unbelievable.
Shout out to the realest.
Sweet number 8, Kelly Thornburg, looking like a young Kobe Bryant back in the day. Coming in the clutch, down 7-6, just 2 minutes to go. Thornburg buries 2 of them, including the winner with just 39 seconds remaining. That is the definition of clutch. And, of course, Kate went on to win their 8th consecutive state championship, and they just might win the rest until the world ends. What a comeback. What a program they have there in Lewis.
Oh, they're going to miss her. Oh, wait, she comes back because she's only a junior. All right, well, let's go to lucky number 7. We're going to stick with a little Milford lacrosse. Lake Forest, they were hosting them, and check us out. Clay Stevenson hitting the B button. Oh, yeah, he's quick. Gets the save, brings it up. No one wants to stop him. Starts shaking. Gets to the crease, gets to the top of the box, fires it, and puts it in. That is a goalie scoring a goal at the other end.
Nice
the
move.
best part about this, how about this? That kid transferred from Lake Forest that season, scoring it on his old team and letting everybody know about it. That's going to get you on this list for sure.
That's got to feel good. Well, we're going to go ahead and take another commercial break, but coming up next, play 6 through 4, plus some that almost made the cut. Stick around.
My name is Kaylee Seabreeze. I'm shortstop for Cambridge South Dorchester High School, and you're watching DELMARVA Sports Insider.
Welcome back. We're still counting down. We've gotten through 10 through 7. Time for number 6. We head to a familiar place, Seagull Stadium, where the Salisbury men's lacrosse team was in danger of falling in overtime until the captain put the team on his back. Who is the captain, you might ask? The bearded one, Thomas Cirillo, banging the winner home in sudden death overtime. Now, the shoulder hesitation gave him a little space to operate, and the USILA's midfielder of the year sends Denison packing. I'd imagine some kind of party ensued there on College Avenue thereafter, although I cannot confirm. More from the embarrassment of riches in Seagull land coming up in a minute.
Sources say, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Well, all right, we're going to go to the top 5 now, and I'm talking 5th. We're going to the 5th. I can only choose one. Well, Chincoteague baseball was in a barn burner with Nandoa down 1 in the 9th, and that run would tie it up. Coming up next is my man Ryan Mason, and he hits a walk-off to center right there and just keeps on running with his teammates chasing after him. That clinched their second straight district title right there. They made it all the way to the state quarterfinals where they came up a little bit short. The team that beat them actually went on and won the championship. So congrats to them, but congrats to the Ponies as well.
And play number 4, Easton versus St. Peter and Paul. Easton down with 4:21 left, and Ellie Roser goes around the defender into the net just to tie this game up, but it gets even better right here because 13.4 seconds left on the clock. She runs the ball up, scores the game-winning goal, and the Warriors were trailing by as much as 9 early on in the second half. They went on a huge run, scoring 10 unanswered goals to win it 12-11.
Who does that?
All right, so we are down to our final 3 plays. Before we go, we could not. These are some that finished just outside of the top 10. The first, Steve Decatur, Steve Alter with the wraparound goal against Bennett. Take another look, getting pushed in the back. Where's the foul at, ref? Come on. Not looking, and buries it past the keeper before the keeper even knows it's how to stick. That was sick, Alter.
He's going to show up in this list a little bit later, but taking it to a little baseball in the honorable mention, we got Delmar taking on Caesar Rodney. The Cats going for a nice win, and check out this foul ball hit down the third base line. Jimmy Atkins tracking, and makes the catch to end the game. Shades of Willie Mays right there with the over-the-shoulder look.
Look at that hair,
It's
man.
got to be the hair, Cotton. It's just
Hair
glowing
stays
and
perfect.
deadly. It's beautiful.
I want to do a slow-mo on that hair, man.
Honorable mention number 2, North Carolina Queens, and this one is hit to deep left field. Cameron Bird is there, tracks it down, makes the catch, stumbles over the fence.
goodness.
He was able to hang on to the ball the entire time right there. Let's go ahead and just take another look right here, and it looks like he actually had no idea how close he was to going over the fence, so what a great play.
That was a great play by him. Our last honorable mention, Drew blew it. This time he did not blew it. Look, we joked that his teammates were wide open on this play and a lot of plays, but when you finish like this, really no need to pass. Take another look. He blows by exactly half the population there in Felton.
Seriously.
Gets hit, falls to his knees, and still is able to bounce one past the keeper. Great job by Drew. He got that team all the way to the Henlopen Championship game.
Yep.
Not sure how many people saw that coming, so kudos to Delmar Lacrosse.
Yeah, first of all, definitely shout out to Delmar Lacrosse. They actually won their first playoff game in program history. Blue got first team all conference. They had a tremendous season. A lot of seniors worked hard on that program. And so, I mean, they deserved everything they got this year.
I agree.
Well, it's time for another quick commercial break, but coming up on the other side, we are down to our final 3 plays of the spring. Who's going to be number 1? Well, stick around and find out.
I'm Joey Gear. I play second base for Bennett Baseball, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider. Mocha, 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 mocha.
Vo's right there. It's a Vo, wipe Vo, and then another Vo where you bring us back on camera. Welcome back. Well, we are just about there. Down to the final 3 plays of the spring, and I tell you what, we had some hard choices in our hands because we had a lot of great plays, but there can only be 3, and coming in number 3 was a flat-out ridiculous play. Decatur and Cambridge actually would be in the Bayside title. Well, this was actually the semifinal, or rather, this was the second best play we're talking about. This is going to be the St. Michael's and Mardella Bayside Championship game. This was a great showdown. Early on, they would be tied going into the bottom of the 12th inning right there, and that's going to be a gapper by Samantha Romberger, the walk-off to win it right there. That actually clinched their first Bayside championship, the first time they ever made it to the Bayside championship, first time they ever won the North, and it was the first time they ever finished the regular season undefeated. An absolutely historic season for St. Michael's.
Yes.
And then on to play number 3 right here. Decatur taking on Cambridge. The Bayside South tied on the line. The Seahawks were down by 1 with under 30 seconds to play. Called timeout to draw this up in the hidden ball trick. Stephen Arthur scores to tie it up with 7 seconds left right here. Problem for Decatur was that was more than enough time for Cambridge as Micah Brooks gets in front of the goal, fires in the game winner, and seconds remaining right here to win it.
Incredible.
They bring back almost everybody. Cambridge is going to be nasty good next year. They're going to be loaded.
I do agree. All right, guys, I hope you're settled in. You guys buckled up?
Oh, we're ready.
Oh, we're
You
ready.
guys buckled up. All right, what a ride this spring season has been. We'll wrap it up by giving you our #1 play of the 2016 spring season. We'll take it back a couple weekends to the D3 National Championship game. Salisbury goalie Colin Raymond with a masterful save in a 1-goal game to clinch the win. Now, the guy shooting, D3 All-American John Upgren, 418 points in his illustrious career.
Is that good?
But he could not get 419. Denied with 6 seconds to go. And that would lead to this. Salisbury capturing this 11th national title in program history, 11th for legendary head coach Jim Berkman. Raymond named most outstanding player. And this city, I'll tell you what, is lucky that school was out by then because there would have been some couches burning on College Avenue. I'm telling you right now what I know to be fact. What a year for Salisbury lacrosse back up on the D3 world.
You know what is wild about the SU lacrosse program? It had been, 4 years since they won, and that's legitimately considered a drought for them. Like, they look at that and figure, why is it taking that long to win one? But when you got players like they can recruit, when Berkman does as much as he has been able to do for that program, that's the standard. I mean, they have the gold standard of you either win a championship or it's a bust season. And I tell you what, when we look back when they lost the CAC championship game, too, a lot of people looked at it and they were like stunned. When you talk to some of the other parents and you talk to some of the coaches, they said this might be good for them, a wake-up call, get them ready to go for the playoffs. Clearly,
it worked.
It did.
Yes.
I got a feeling Berkman's pretty good at getting people's attention as well. So big congrats out to them. What a way to cap off the season.
I agree.
And now we shift things over to the summer. We're going to have a lot of Shorebirds. We have a lot of Eastern Shore baseball, a lot of things to look forward to. It's going to be a great summer, but thank you so much for tuning in. Unfortunately, that's all the time we got for you tonight.
Don't forget to follow us across social media at 47 ABC Sports.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.